Hello viewers, my name is Austin Interviews and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be turning myself into a snake. Alright, let's get straight into the look. So, today we're going to do a snake. Now I'm super excited for this look. Now I've tried this look numerous times over the years and they've never been good. So guess what? Today we're going to make this look outstanding. Alright, so before we start this look, I'm just going to let you know what you need to have. You're going to need to have a bald cap. Of course, your glue sticks, so we're going to have to glue down our eyebrows. So I'm not going to bore you by gluing down my eyebrows and doing a bald cap like I said in every video. You guys don't want to see it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and glue down my eyebrows and put my bald cap on and I'll be right back. Back and I'm bald and I have no eyebrows, so let's just get straight into this look because I can't look at myself any longer.
Damn, I messed up. We gotta go bald, fam.
Oh, shit. So first what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to go into our little face paint palette and go into this lime green shade. Now, you want your face to be very light because we're gonna cover our entire face with scales, making it look dark. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I have a little bit of this lime green on this palette and I'm going to apply that all over my face and head. I literally look like a grape.
I am disgusted.
So don't be afraid if your head and face is a little opaque. It's completely fine because you're gonna cover most of your face and head with scales anyway. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Why do I keep on doing the snapping thing? Alright, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of white. I'm just gonna place it right on this part of my cheek. Alright, so speaking of snakes, I actually had a snake. It was, and everyone's like, ew, snake. Like, no, this snake was actually beautiful. It's called a blue-eyed Lucy, and it's because I was so into reptiles, and oh my god, I had an obsession with animals and reptiles and stuff. So I, of course, was begging for a snake. So, well, actually, I wanted a dog so bad, a second dog, so bad. They were like, no, my parents were like, no, and I was like, fine, you're not gonna get me a dog, get me a snake.
Period, period.
So they got me a freaking snake. The snake was so beautiful, okay, it was white, it had a blue eye, I'll insert a clip of what they look like. But, the reason I keep on saying what I had is the snake didn't pass away, nothing. But the snake it was I bought it, it was a foot, then it got 3 foot, then it was 4 feet long. And at that point, I was like, when is this gonna stop growing? And oh, snakes never stop growing. So it got so big that I literally could not keep up, and this is in a span of a year. I could not keep up with its size that I literally had to give it to one of my friends that has 1 billion reptiles because they have 1 million enclosures. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of this translucent powder and I'm just going to set the face. Ooh, that was loud. Alright, so now that we're all set, I'm actually gonna start with the eyes. So the eyes are a very winged out shape. It honestly looks like a graphic liner, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this very thin brush and I'm going to dip into this dark army green shade. It's an army green. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to draw a very large wing eyeliner. Alright, so now that that's that, let's actually start doing the mouth. So in order to do this, we're gonna take a little bit of black and I'm just going to sketch out You're gonna sketch out a line all the way to here. So I'm gonna actually mark the point where I want it to end. That's pretty far out, and then I'm gonna do that exact same on the other side. Like that. So I went up and then out. So it's basically gonna give you a lifted effect with your lip. So I went diagonally up and then out to the end. So now I'm gonna do that on the exact same on the other side. So that is perfect. Now I'm gonna start doing the scales. The first scale we're gonna put on is on the nose. And basically what we're gonna do is we're going to make a diamond. So first I'm just gonna sketch out the bottom line so I can get an idea where I'm gonna put the rest of the scales. So first I'm just gonna start by placing this one right here. With every scale, we're gonna place them very smallly apart so that you can tell that there's lift under the scale. So with every scale, we're gonna place them 1 millimeter apart, a centimeter. I don't know the correct measurement, but you know. So I made a diamond or a shield shape. And I also, if you guys can realize, I put a little line down the center, and I'm just going to tap that in so that you could still kind of see that line. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna place 2 other shapes going down and like this. I don't know how to explain the shape. I'm in geometry. Why don't I not know like how to make what the names of shapes are? You want to blend this side of the shape out into your eyebrow bone, your eyebrow crease. I still don't know that. Like 7 videos later of me just making up random names, I still don't know what the name of that is. So Google Austin, place the Google thing right here. Alright, so that's the nose basically already finished, so that's great. Now let's start with the forehead. Now we got a massive forehead this time, so space won't be an issue. So first, right above this little like this little contour lines we made, we're going to make our first like large scale. So I'm just going to basically, for how I'm gonna make all these scales, I'm gonna press down and I'm gonna pull back. So that's gonna be my way of like making sure that there's a nice border. Alright, so I'm gonna do that exact one on this side because this looks gonna be pretty symmetrical. So I'm gonna try to get this one on this side and try to get it the exact same. If I don't, I'm gonna be dead.
Miss Keaton! Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead.
Alright, so now that you have those two, which got big and dark really quickly, we're gonna do a like diamond right in the center. So I'm going to sketch out that, and I want this one to be pretty close to the other ones. Oh, and I'm also gonna cover my entire head and neck with crystals, which is gonna be really cool. I also saw something similar to this look on TikTok like 2 years ago maybe, so I'm going to put the person's in the description down below. And now I'm gonna do 2 more like squared rounded ones right off the sides of this one. So as I continue to do some scales, I want to talk a little bit about some celebrity like interactions, I mean like interviews and everything I've done. So 2 years ago I went to the Super Bowl, which was honestly so fun. I didn't watch the game really that much, but it was fun for other reasons, and I'm gonna get into that now. So I was, you know, in my seats, and I was actually texting my friend, and they sent me a notification like, Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio's here. I was like, what? I was like, what? What the fuck? Okay, so I bolt out of my seats, and I run all the way around the stadium. Like, I'm running miles, laps. Like, I am skirting, okay? Bolting, dashing, whatever adjective to describe running. I was going crazy, okay? Like, I was doing everything to try to find them. And on my, like, 180 miles per hour, I, like, bump into Dixie.
Move, bitch!
And I'm like, hey. After I had my whole situation with her, guess who walks out right behind her? Charlie. And I was like, oh, I was dying. I was literally dying. Like, I think my heart stopped. Like, I needed to get, like, her parents come out, who are also, like, TikTok famous, and I, like, took a picture with the entire family. Like, it was literally, like, a Christmas photo. So after I had my whole situation with them, I was freaking out, so I was literally running again to get back to my seats to, like, tell my family what had happened. On my way there, I bumped into freaking David Beckham. Oh. I bumped into freaking David Beckham, which was like, hello, like, what the hell is happening? I'm, like, bumping into, like, the most famous celebrities, like, in the world in, like, one run. And then guess what? On my way down to my seats, I was like, the back of that person seems very familiar. And then you're probably like, how do you know the back of the person? I'm like, oh, you know. Like 3 rows behind me, I didn't even look back, was freaking Lizzo. And I was like, oh my god, it's about damn time! That, I got a picture with her, like, hello. That was the worst thing I ever did. That was the worst joke ever, but like, it was about damn time. So, I freaking was like, oh my god, Lizzo, I love you so much. Like, I love Lizzo, okay? And I was like, I love you so much. Like, I was like literally gonna cry. And I was like, oh my god, you're like my favorite, whatever. And then she like, her like 9-inch acrylics like wrap around my hand, and she's like, I just want to let you know, son, like, you're so handsome, and like, she's like, I know you're gonna do something great one day. And I was like, oh my god, I was like, what do you mean? Like, oh my god, like, and then she's like, bye. Bye, bitch. Her outfit was like made out of footballs, which was also extremely iconic. So that was crazy, and like, I won't ever forget that. Bowl game's over. I watched the Super Bowl. Like, I watched the halftime show. Did not watch the football game at all. And I was too busy with hanging out with celebrities, which was like way better than watching a freaking football game. And it was like the last quarter, and like the game was like pretty freaking even. Like, it was an intense game. And my brother was going for the other team, and I was going for the Chiefs. So I'm just like, and he's like, oh, we're gonna win because they were up. the Chiefs won, and then I won my bet. So I got so on top of meeting celebrities, I also won $100. But my phone had died, so I had no idea what was going on. So we were walking back to our car, which was also like a million miles away. Like that parking lot is crazy. Like please, Hard Rock, make a freaking parking lot closer to the stadium. So we'd gotten to the car, and I plugged in my phone, and I opened my phone, and the notifications, my jaw dropped. Like literally smacked the freaking floor. 1 week before the Super Bowl, I was like, oh guys, my goal is to hit 1,000 followers, because I was like 800 around that time. And I opened my phone, I opened my TikTok, and I have like 3,000 followers just right then. I'm like, it's been like 30 minutes. How the heck do I, and then I look, and Dixie had posted the video. Everybody in my comment, in Dixie's comments, was like, oh my god, Austin, oh my god, Ella, like that was honestly the best night of my life. Like I had a freaking blast. Story time. Now I'm gonna do one like right over here, just across from the other one, like on the bald cap. And this one's just gonna like really stretch out the face. So on the outer ends, I wanna do like way bigger ones, because I feel like the inside should be more like detailed, and like the outside should be like way larger scaled. I love that my ears are just like sticking out. Like every time I look into my mirror, I just see my ears like popping out of the side of my head. Also, like don't worry about like colors and this and that, because we're gonna set it and shade it all with eyeshadow like later. So that's not a big problem. Alright, so now I'm just gonna go in with this brush and really just like clean up all the lines, making them like closer together or farther apart, and do that. So while I do that, I just wanna talk more about some interactions. So the question I get the most, besides how the hell do you do that with your face, is how the heck do you meet all these celebrities? And my answer is like, most of the time it's pure luck. Sometimes, you know, like you schedule, sometimes there's like events, but some of my biggest celebrity like interactions have been totally by luck. And the one that was like the craziest for me, that was just, I saw them, was freaking Noah Schnapp, which was so cool. He's super nice, by the way. And that was like such a insane interaction. So I was just sitting down at this place. Out of nowhere, someone walks by me. I'm like, that person looks oddly familiar. Like they're wearing a mask and a hat. Like this is like not during COVID, but like right near the end. And I was like, I know. So I ran out. I was like, that looks exactly like Noah Schnapp. Like you could just tell from the eyes. Like I'm so obsessed with Stranger Things. Like, I don't know if you know this. Like I truly am. Like I have a problem. Like I'm super obsessed. Me and my friend Amanda, shout out to Amanda, we are obsessed with Stranger Things, and it's kind of a problem. So I know exactly what he looks like. So basically, I'm like running after him. And like, I don't want to be like, Noah, because like, first of all, that's weird. And second of all, like, what if it's not him and I'm just screaming at a random dude saying Noah? Like, that's weird. Hop on the shoulder, I'm like, Noah? And he's like, hi. And I'm like, hello. And photo with him, and I was literally like freaking out. Like, I always say I'm freaking out, but there's certain people that I'm like, I watch Stranger Things forever. So anyway, I went back to my mom, and I told her, well, she saw what happened and stuff. And she was like, wow, like, and my mom also is like such a big Stranger Things fan. So my mom's like, Austin, what are you doing? Go freaking film a TikTok with him. So we're walking back upstairs, and I see him again, and we're like literally in the same ice cream store. And on our way out, he's like, and I'm like, Noah, do you mind if we film a TikTok? Because like, he's like the king of TikTok. He's like, oh my god, of course. So he's like giving us audios and stuff. And I was like, maybe we should do this one. He's like, nah, that's old. Like, let's do something current. Like, you know, like really like, he's helping me. Like, he's literally like creative directing our post. What if we do like the Corvette one? And he's like, perfect. We do it once, and he's like, oh, is this okay? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I didn't want to like waste his time. He's like, no, is it okay? It was okay. So we like watch it. He's like, oh, let's whatever, refilm it. So we refilmed it. We like whatever. And like the funniest part is like, and that video is still pinned on my TikTok as the first pin, and it is the funniest freaking video. And I was like, oh. Like, this is just something fun, like, for me to have on my page. For some reason, some person got a hold of it and, like, shared it to, like, every Noah Schnapp fan page, like, ever. Like, I don't know if he, like, Noah retweeted it somewhere or something, because I don't know how these people found it. Literally, probably 20 minutes later, the video had already reached, like, 15,000 likes and like 50,000 views. And we had gone to lunch, and I was like, I look at my phone, because, like, not realizing it, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I posted, like, 2 more videos that day, and, like, those also got, like, 5,000 likes and views. At the end of that day, I had hit 14,000 followers. A TikTok of me, like, saying, like, thank you right here. And then, literally, like, 4 minutes later, I had got to 15,000. So I was just, like, climbing on the TikTok following, and with someone that was so nice. Like, he was literally the nicest person ever. Alright, now, let's actually get back into the tutorial. I'm going to make a, like, upside down triangle opposite from this one on the bottom to give my nose, like, a triangular shape, like, right down here. I'm going to leave a little line in the center, just like for the rest of the scales. And I'm just going to basically connect these two so that it's like that. Now, opposite from that, I'm going to make 2 right angle triangles, 90 degrees, and I'm gonna do that, like, right next to these ones. Also, I forgot to say one thing I wanted to say then, and it was that on my Instagram, at lunch, I looked at my, like, timeline, or, like, my mentions, and I had, like, literally a bajillion, and they were all, like, fan edits of, like, me and Noah dancing, and it was, they're honestly so funny, and I got tagged in all of them. So I got, like, I feel like that also helped promote, because, like, all these fan pages follow each other. So, like, it just was, like, a counter effect of, like, me growing in followers, which was amazing. Alright, right on top of this little mouth line we made, which is fine if it looks messy because that's just, like, the end, I'm going to do a million little, like, scales along that, and I'm just going to do that by pressing and dragging upwards, just by doing tons of little ones. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna, like, zoom you in. Also, the side of my head's not colored just because I'm gonna do that after. Like that. Like, see how there's, like, tons of little scales there? That's exactly what we want. Now, there are some pretty big ones right here, like right under the cheeks. So I'm just gonna do a little, like, circle right up here. So now that we have that little circle, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Now from there, I'm going to do I'm just gonna make, like, a line, and I'm just gonna basically drag that upward in order to make, like, a little weird scale shape. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but Alright, so for the ear, I'm actually gonna fill in all of, like, the darker crevices with the army color, and then all the top parts with a light, like, the lime green. Alright, so this part is pretty detailed, so I'm going to go in with this pretty thin brush. And doing that, I'm just going to grab some of this army green shade again. I'm gonna start by doing a line of small scales under my eye. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. That's the first row all done. As you can see, I kind of like went from 1 row and split it up to 2 on there. Now I'm going to go in with that brush again, and I'm gonna do some, like, scales going downward. Like that. That's exactly how you want it. That looks really freaking good. Alright, so now I'm gonna do this entire side on this side and try to make it as similar as possible. So, alright, so those are the scales on the top part of the face, pretty much done. So now, let's start with the ones on the bottom. But before we do that, I actually want to shade my mouth a little bit more. So in order to do that, I'm going to take this little flat, skinny top brush that we used for the scales on the top, and take some black and mix it in that army color. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to place that and drag it down in order to blend it out, but keeping most of the pigment on the actual line. Now that that's shaded, now you're gonna take this little black and you're gonna do 2 lines right on the lips, just like I did. Basically placing a line right down the center and then blending the top part out into a triangle, and then this one just basically keeping the same.
Girl, what the fuck is you talking about?
Now I'm just gonna take a beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend out the edges of this just to really diffuse this shadow. Now we're actually gonna do the scales on the bottom. So taking that army shade again, which is just this one in the palette, I'm going to start by making a triangle right on my chin. Now once you have that triangle, we're actually gonna do 2 circles right off of that going into the lip. Alright, so now you have those 2 circles there. We're going to do 2 little boxes right under that. Now we're basically gonna follow the exact same pattern that we did on this scale line on the bottom, just spreading them out a little bit more and making them a little more bigger.
It's big, huh? You
Alright, so that is all the scales on there. Now we're going to shade them. Now this part can be kind of tricky, so I advise that you pay very close attention to the colors I'm using and where I'm placing that. So, let's go.
Let's go. You know it's ready.
Alright, so I'm going to go into this Blood Money palette, and it actually opens like a safe. You have to press these 2 in to open it. And I'm going to go into this very light lime green color. Now you're going to want a very small, thin brush. It's just the Makeup by Ariel like packing brush, because you want to make sure you put that color in the place that it's supposed to be. So dipping into this color, I'm going to put it right on the top of this scale. And then just the inner portion on this scale. So for the bottom one, you're just going to want to place it right in the center of the triangle. Now if there's a lot of like really quick jump cuts, it's just because I don't want to have to explain on how to do every single one of these. Alright, so I just went ahead and switched this brush. I'm actually going to switch to this more fluffy packing brush, because I feel like for the bigger scales, it's going to give me a way easier and quicker way to put it on. Alright, so now taking this little thin packing brush from Makeup Ariel, I'm going to go into this like dark army shade again, just to go and really define all these scales. You're gonna place this mostly on the bottom portion of the scale, just like this. And that is just gonna give it a nice little shadow. And you always wanna blend that towards the inside. Shaded, it's time to go in with a little brush and clean up all these lines with the lime color again. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all these lines, and I'll be right back. Alright, so that is all the shading and highlighting complete. This is turning out absolutely insane. Like, I'm genuinely shocked about how good this is turning out. Alright, so as you can see, I did leave like parts of my head just the color of the ball cap. So I'm just gonna go in with this face paint palette. I just sprayed it with a little bit of water and taking a brush. And I'm just going to basically just place this on all of the places and then just using the brush just to blend it into the actual hairline. So that is all blended in, and it honestly looks so smooth. But don't worry about like the scales not being there, because we're gonna cover that entire thing with crystals. Alright, so I know I just said we're gonna cover the forehead with crystals, but before we do that, we're actually just gonna do the body part. So it's basically the same thing. You're just gonna cover your entire body with the lime green and then put all the scales on top of it and make the body look like a snake. Also, we are gonna do crystals on the neck, so don't be afraid about doing too many scales on the neck, because it's just gonna be covered. So, alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the body. That is the body all done. This is turning out absolutely crazy. Literally look like a snake right now. Like, this is crazy. Alright, in order to give this look an extra oomph, we're literally gonna crystallize my entire forehead and neck. I went ahead and ordered some gems on Amazon, and basically I'm just gonna place it in like a pattern in order to give myself like a crystal scale look. Snake look all complete. I think this look turned out absolutely insane. The crystals look amazing, and so do the scales. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on all my other social media platforms, which are just Austin_interviews. Alright, hope to see you in the next one. Bye!